So here's a sentence that I thought I wouldn't say in for a long time. We are going to Hanamura Temple, map number 1 in our winner bracket final. A best of 3 series here at the Sisters Call tournament. And I didn't even know that the map is in the map pool. I haven't seen Hanamura in a long time. I think we had one tournament at some point where we were trying to get all of the weirdo maps back in. And it was the first one, and we introduced Hanamura Temple as well as one of the maps. We played Blackheart's Bay, Warhead. I mean, the playlist is still on my YouTube channel, I believe. But the players were then saying, like, look guys, if you want to play some other maps, it's fine, but still, please remove Hanamura. The map is so horrible. We just don't want to play this under any circumstance, and so it was never added to another map pool again, even when we played with some of the off-meta maps. Now, interestingly enough, in the new patch, it will see some adjustments. Hanamura Temple is going to see some adjustments. If that's going to help to make the map a little bit more mainstream for competitive play, that's obviously a completely different story, but we'll see. If you haven't seen my video on the next patch yet, that is currently on the test server, you can also go to the YouTube channel and check it out there. There's also a pretty lively conversation and debate going on in the comments, so if you haven't seen that, I would highly recommend that you take a look, because there's a lot that changes with the new PTR patch. Blizzard is apparently trying to change the way that the game is being played, so yeah, that video is, as I said, on YouTube, and if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Now, we get a really wild combo also. It's actually quite a nice one. This is the best of 3 series. Again, we have a META Madness style tournament hosted by the Polish community. So 25 heroes are pre-banned, as we do in META Madness. So they adopted the tournament concept, and heroes can only be played once. But while Arthas and Rhaegar are now picked on the side of Team Zaxi, we have Garrosh Zarya, which is of course a bit of an old school combo, because what you're trying to do is you get your level 4 on Zarya, you get the speed bubble, and then you just apply to Garrosh. He runs into the opponent's team and flips some of the targets over. So that is going to be the name of the game here. Haven't seen that in traditional play for a long time now, but it should be interesting. Good bans too. We talked about Varian a lot previously, about Medivh. Oriel is being taken out here. That triple front line that we're now seeing for Team Agumi with Leoric on the side lane. You have a very powerful 4-man, of course, if you're playing Garrosh plus Zarya. So that's already a given. But we'll see which team is able to take the lead here. This is, as I said before, the winner bracket final. So whoever takes the best of 3 series will move on to the grand final. And the opponent still has another chance making that loser bracket run. Reyna and Malthael. Alright. Yeah, Jimmy is getting picked a little bit more now. But what's going to be the third pick for them? Are they going triple frontline with this? Or I think they have to, right? With Malthael on the side. Tychus and Malfurion. The final 2 choices for Team Agumi. And now really the question what Akunis is going to play here for the blue team. Because if you can shield Jimmy, I mean, you can do a lot. You also have the slows, and there's our triple front line as expected. So this should be Ace of Spades for Jimmy. It's Ace of Spades, right? Not Ace in the hole. Whatever it is, you know what hell I'm talking about. They have so many slows and so many stuns, that's definitely it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Hanamura, our first map in the best of 3 series here at the winner bracket final. Team Zaxi in game number 1 of the best of 3. We have the captain himself on Malthael. Exterminator for Reyna. Okay, well, yes, if you want to go for the Sentinel, of course, you can do a lot with it. But I have to admit, considering the fact that they have Arthas played by Harkness and then also Imperius with his lunge played by Akunis, I did not think that we would get that talent. So that's wild to me. Aldante on Rhaegar, and Whitey, he's the one that's going to play Jimmy. Agumi for the red team is playing Malfurion. We have Balsa on Zarya, Itrax on Tychus, Bibjik on Leoric, and last but not least, unrivaled strength for Garrosh, played by Wannek. But yeah, I did not expect Exterminator here. I was 100% convinced that they would try to just benefit from all those slows and stuns that they have here. So it is a bit interesting. Now, Aldante over here. So let's see what they're going to do with that. Gets attacked quickly, but is also still totally fine. Would have been a very annoying first blood if it happened that quickly. But yeah, very curious how they're now using Jimmy. I mean, technically, if you go for like some theory crafting, right, you can actually do a lot when you have that talent. If your whole goal is to simply just go for the camps and play around those, you have a few tools that you can utilize for that. Is that a winning strategy for them here? I mean, we'll see. It still will come to some pretty brutal team fights, but here's now the play for the Sentinel. So they're gonna get this very quickly, and obviously you have to be diligent around your Sentinel camp. They're getting it not really faster than the opponent though, so that's the one thing where it makes me a bit curious. It's not like Jimmy is going to get that mad value out of it as the game continues. They're fighting for the top, for the recon camp, and they're actually going to get it. The blue team invading it, taking that with ease, and yeah, so far so good. Now that gives them a little bit more of an experience lead. They can go to the top and defend the opponent's Sentinel. It's also not really a problem as they're four-manning the entire thing. And down at the bottom of the map, it's only like one survivor right now, or one hero that is holding the lane and the experience, and that is Malthael. So yeah, Sentinel here is still getting attacked. And to be fair, they are needing a little bit longer to take this one out. They didn't fully come down with a four-man either. At least not initially. So that gives extra time to the blue team to go to the top and take down Leoric. That's first blood. Leorki is gone. And since they were also able to take the fortification camp right here, they now have one sentry turret in their hands as well. So the extra speed that they have in camp clear through Jimmy is actually working for them. Now is it going to be working throughout the entire game? That's the question. They drop the turret. Essentially go for the next camp at the bottom, and that gives them an even bigger lead. So their strategy will be just continuously go for one camp after another from the looks of it. And yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing so far, and up to now it's working. But of course very early in the game, team fight potential. How much can Jimmy really do here? They're still firing away and getting good hits out of it. Level 4 talents are in for both teams. Objective is up, and we got the speed bubble. So speed barrier for Zarya is taken, and that means that it's now time to empower Garrosh a bit more and help him to make his plays. They want to go for the camp again. Yeah. Take that one too. But not really. Okay, so yeah, can't really take it yet. But okay, so while they are still posturing around, we're now having at the same time the move towards the top with the payload. Trying to escort that in. They're looking for kills, and they're going for Tychus, even through the choke point. Going straight for the bridge here. They are able to get the kill and might be able to get another one. If they can, they will take the Sentinel away from the opponent's team. They go for Garrosh. He's also low. Gets stunned out again and somehow still makes it. But that would have been an opportunity to go for the Sentinel camp of the opponent. They're still trying to simply get the payload and go for the objective instead, which isn't a horrible choice either. But Zarya is now making her plays over on the right side. But they are going to get the shots fired here. So yeah, good for them. Level 7, thanks to the lead and experience, is also hitting early. So we have them now with the unstable compound. But Team Zugzi with some very nice early game moves here. And they're getting another camp at the bottom of the map. So it's just Sentinel after Sentinel that they're currently taking. And yeah, it's working really well for them. So the strategy is working out. The shots are being fired. It's half of the fort HP already gone. Retaking some of the camps here, so they want to have the vision on this one and claim the recon camp. At the bottom of the map, they still weren't able to take this. They took most of them out, but still some remaining. But obviously, this is just going to be a playing counterplay that we're seeing, as the blue team is just so much faster on the camp clear, also partly thanks to what Jimmy is bringing in with this level 1 talent. So, as they are pushing for XP and for the top again, we're also having the blue team inch closer and closer to level 10 abilities. They're about to hit level 9, and once that they have heroics, they might just be able to use it on the second objective to get another payload connected and then take more structures out. Specifically, once you have the forts out, that's obviously even more helpful. But yeah, recon camp gets attacked again. Leo needs to be a bit careful as well, sitting on the right side currently. The rest of the team is now moving in. They take it. Yeah, Jimmy is also there in the thick of things. We're seeing Malthael do some damage. They're waiting for the next lunge. Garrosh is already low. He's not the only one. Zarya's also in trouble. Gets saved by Garrosh, but the problem is that we still have Leorki at the front, and even with the bubble that he gets from Zarya, he's dead, and the camp is retaken. So that is kill number 3 now for Team Zaxi. So they are getting kill after kill, camp after camp, very diligent the way that they're moving around the map now. And it is working exceptionally well, honestly. They're doing a fantastic job on this, and I don't know what to tell you, but this is working really nicely for them. They haven't taken any major structures out yet, but now that level 10 has dropped for them, they can, for example, use Malthael to get more and more stacks on his level 10 ability. Considering how in a lot of these fights we've seen heroes on the red team fall really low, that's definitely a chance that they have here. And in addition to this, we get the angelic armaments. We have Jimmy without a choice yet, so if they're just pushing for structures, he could also go for Hyperion. But he goes for Reyna's Raiders. Weren't really able to do a whole lot with the lead, by the way, in experience. The gap or the advantage is nearly negated now because Team Agumi is grabbing their own level 10 any second. But we have the Sentry up again, and therefore Jimmy is immediately saying hello together with Rhaegar, who of course chips in his own lightning shield to make the whole process a little bit faster here. So both of the teams grab it. Here's the heroic abilities for Team Agumi. No surprises, no shock on that end. Maybe pointing out the Twilight Dream here real quickly. So no Tranquility. They go for the camp again. And here comes Malthael, potentially now with the kills. Yep, gets one out. Bam, that's the end of Garrosh. And that's the first stack for his last rites. So last rites already successful. They take down Tychus. And they try to go for Leorki as well. And he dies too. So Leoric is down. They're getting kill after kill here. 6 kills to 0. Still noteworthy that we haven't gotten a single kill from the red team yet. Team Agumi is just not able to get any big hits in. And that's a huge problem, especially with Malthael now stacking too. Just think about all of these fights that we've seen where some of the heroes were barely able to walk back out. And now what we're getting instead is a finisher in the form of Malthael that can capitalize on the cooldown reduction that he gets with every single kill that he facilitates. So now they're pushing the payload again. We have up at the top, bit of damage done towards the wall. At the bottom of the map, the Sentinel has already taken the fort out. That's the first one to fall. And yeah, it's all about the payload again in a moment. But there is a lead in experience coming up. They're gonna get an experience lead in a few seconds. Sorry, the talent lead. The experience lead is gonna culminate in a talent lead. That's what we're going for here. And that level 13 talent can help them for the next battle, and specifically, of course, for the objective at hand. So they're already starting to move forward. On the damage side, we have 17,000 for Jimmy now. Zarya is the top damage dealer for Team Agumi and is sitting at 19,000, so slightly ahead. But they still weren't able to get any kills in this game. So that's a problem, for sure. Stepping down at the bottom of the map again. Leo isn't here. They will have to let this go. It's a full 5-man pushing. Leo is now slowly making a poach here, but I don't think that they can hold this. Leo will be too late. There's the attack already coming. Where's the last rites when you need it? Not used yet. They want to hold this back. Objective is taken, and that is shots fired towards the top. So yeah, easily taking out that wall and even getting some good connects on the fort itself. The team can now try and even take the Sentinel away, and that's exactly what they're doing, because Garrosh is dead for another 10 seconds. That's quite a lot. So more and more momentum for Team Zaxi. Not only are they threatening another fort at the top, they're going to take it out now. They have gotten 2 objectives. They have a 1.5 lead in experience. They're taking the Sentinels on the map, and they're just overall doing a pretty fantastic job pinning the opponent down and just not giving them a chance to get back into the game. Team Agumi needs kills. I mean, they really, really need kills here, and they just aren't getting any. 7 kills to 0 right now. And still the pressure through the top of the map, the attempted pressure from the red team, but it's just not paying any dividends for them. They are closing the gap in experience as well. The next goal for them is, of course, to get level 13 and then fight on even footing. But that's another fort that is now lost, and it pins them down further and further. Can take those walls out as well and deny vision to the opponent's team, which is exactly what we're seeing from Team Zaxi. They're playing a very clean game. They haven't lost a fort, they haven't lost a hero, and they're just playing an incredibly clean game here. And make it very, very difficult for the red team to get any kind of foothold in this game. So, yeah, well done. Very well done, actually. And I am curious to see if maybe there's a way back for Team Megumi still. They go for some of the camps here. So, they're trying to take this. They're even committing with Odin to it. But the blue team is completely undeterred. They're still making their move. They're coming in, take the turret, can use it in the fight if they want to. Ancestral is out, well done. What about the last rites? Could use it now, do use it, and it's a second stack for Malthael. They kill Zarya, that's a double kill for Team Zugzi. Make it a triple, baby. 3 kills, very, very nice move now to at least take Arthas down. But they're about to lose Leoric too, so that's a 4-1 trade. You could argue that at least the team finally did get a kill, but that of course came at a big price, and yeah, this is just a disaster right now. The bot lane is slowly getting opened up. We're talking about a level 16 talent advantage. We're not only getting line them up here with the cooldown reduction, but also paint them red. So Jimmy with the utility can keep the opponent at bay 2. Full focus with the Celestial Swiftness into the Celestial Charge. And yeah, it's looking really, really good for Team Zugzi. That keep at the bottom of the map is nearly destroyed. We have the Sentinels now coming up again. I believe this time the blue team is more interested in their own first. So they will most likely move towards the left and claim this one in 10 seconds. Already more or less on the way here. But they're just able to dish out so much damage in these encounters and push the opponent always to the brink. And for Team Megumi, no matter what they try, it's a tall order. No matter what they've tried so far, it just hasn't been working. So the Sentinels have been claimed once more. We have the payload on the map. And with level 16, Team Zugzi should be able to take it. And if they are able to claim it, I mean, if they're able to take this one too, then we are looking at major structures getting destroyed soon. And a continuous advantage for the blue team that might never be able to be bridged again. Yeah, they're escorting this in with ease, and the problem for the red team is just simply they don't have level 16. They're trying to get to the next tier, but they're not able to get on an eye level, and they don't want to fight that fight. That's just what it is. They don't want to fight that battle, and now the shots are fired towards the top. That's going to take the wall out. It applies more damage to the keep, and here on Hanamura, the blue team is just making all the right moves and making it nearly impossible for Team Megumi to come back. The red team is hoping for a fight where they can turn the game around. So far, it just hasn't presented itself. Both of their keeps are low. They're pinned down on the right side of the map. And this is... it's a dangerous situation for them to be in. Again, this is the best of 3 series. You don't want to fall behind here. But I gotta say that I just don't know how they're going to try and turn this. They need 16, which they now have. They have to force fights around it. If you don't force the 16 versus 16 fights, you're just asking to die a slow and painful death. 11 kills to 1. Yeah, here comes again the move from Garrosh. Well done. That's the combo with Zarya, but they were waiting for it. They simply moved back, and there was nothing for Garrosh to connect to. Something maybe surprises me a little bit, it's the fact that Malthael has only 2 stacks on his last rights. I expected them to get a bit more, considering how aggressive they were playing and how many team fights they were grabbing earlier. But not really too big of a problem either. So, now just a push through the bottom of the map. As they're trying to go for the next move here. And yeah, things are working for the blue team. No reason to change their MO here. They can wait for the objective. They can wait for level 20. It's really up to Team Megumi now to make a play. For the blue team, why would they? All that the blue team has to do is keep doing what they're doing. Take the camps, control the map, try and go for the objective, and let the opponent come to you. There is zero responsibility on them to now force fights. Not until they have level 20. They can play a patient game where their main focus is to not throw it right now. As long as they are not forced to defend something by Team Megumi, that should be the name of the game for them, and that's what they're doing. Here comes Arthas with his ult. Garrosh wants the point. They don't get it though. Turret is out on the map. It's immediately getting attacked here. Last right. Bye-bye Garrosh. That's the third stack for Malthael. They take Leoki down. Zarya is dead. Malfurion is about to go down too. That is a quad kill. 4 heroes eliminated. They're chasing Tychus. It's gonna be a 5-man team wipe. And not only does Tychus die, the keep at the bottom of the map gets destroyed by the Sentinel, and they can now go for the core. Fantastic performance in game number 1 by Team Zerxi. Very clean play. 16 kills to 1, level 20 versus 17 as they go for the core, as they are starting to finish it out. 1 step forward, 1 step towards that grand final, as we are headed for map number 2 in the best of 3 series here at the winner bracket final. GG. We're going to head straight into game number 2, but before we do, once again guys, if you enjoy the coverage on the channel here, if you enjoy the match, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. It also helps to boost the game to an even wider audience. And of course, it helps to get people back into Heroes of the Storm, as the algorithm recommends the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past. So again, before we continue, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and like the video. Appreciate it. And with that, we're heading straight into the second map of the series. So, super clean game by Team Zerxi on map number 1. Only a single kill that Team Agumi was able to get. And, well, now we'll see what happens on the second map. This is match point, obviously, for the blue team. After this, by the way, we only have 2 series left, the losers bracket final and the grand final, and both of those are best of 5 matches. So even in the worst case scenario with a clean sweep, we would see 3 maps, which of course is already guaranteeing us that we are going to see more different heroes. Bans are pretty quick. We have Medivh and Shogal both eliminated, funnily enough both by Team Zerxi, and since this time Varian wasn't banned, he gets picked. Essentially the rule of the tournament is, or at least the rule of the playoffs, whenever Varian is not banned, you instantly pick him for your team, since he is just a high priority tank for all of them. So we got Muradin and Falstad playing against this. That gives you some global presence already on the side of the red team, so good for them. But with Garden of Terror and now Varian locked in, you would expect that the blue team is gonna get a few champions that can really help them to take heroes down quickly. So mages with burst damage are usually at least one of the damage sources that we're seeing from those teams. And, well, that's Varian gonna go for. There's Li Ming, there's your damage source right there. And we get Sonya. So, Li Ming and Sonya. You can still go Taunt and Leap if you want to. If Sonya is played as the only other melee next to Varian, then we're likely going to see Wrath of the Berserker. But again, there is a chance that there's a triple, and then Sonya could go Leap and apply an additional stun to the targets. So right now we got Alarak banned out. Fair amount of Alarak here. And Team Agumi has pressure on them now. This is a bit of a problem. Team Zerxi has been one of the most dominant in the entire tournament here. They obviously took first place also in the round-robin phase that we had. So now they're about, or well, they're trying to crown that achievement by moving on to the grand final and also take the entire tournament. Maybe at some point Team Agumi or somebody else can put a stop to this. If the red team wants to pull that off right now, they have to win 2 games in a row, which isn't unheard of, which isn't too crazy, but still. They need an answer and some kind of method to take the blue team apart, because on Hanamura, it was basically a one-team show. Zul plus Uther, so Muradin and Zul at the front, and we get Zagara now for the blue team, and we have Deckard Kane. So no triple frontline. Wrath of the Berserker definitely now an option for Sonya to add a bit more sustainability to the melee lineup that they're running here. If they're just looking for blobs, I mean, if they go, for example, Leap, they could go more into Leap, which is also super nice. But are they really going to commit to this, which is a bit more risky? We'll see. Final pick for Team Agumi. We get Orphea, so Falstad plus Orphea for the damage output. Well, we're ready. It is match point number 1. Team Zerxi against Team Agumi, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to Garden of Terror. Game number 2, match point. Match point between the teams, as on the left we have Zagzi on Sonya, Akunis on Zagara, Harkness on Varian, Aldante on Deckard Kane, and Whitey is playing Li Ming. The blue team in a position where they could get the victory in the series if they're taking it here on Garden of Terror. Over on the right side we got Agumi on Ultha, the captain of the team. Bibshik on Zul, Itrax on Ophia, Warnick on Murden, and Volsa is playing the birdie with a frequent flyer on level 1. Now, Sonya with the ugliest mount in the game once again. So, yeah, vomit-inducing. Absolutely vomit-inducing. This is the only thing that I can say about this mount. Definitely the ugliest mount that we have. I have so far not heard anybody try and convince me that we have a mount that is more ugly than this. Sonya gets nearly killed, and she deserved it. Her picking that thing is an assault on the eyes of every single viewer out there, and I think she should be punished. But unfortunately, that didn't quite happen. Mirrodin with the Epstein skin right there. He's going full pedo on us, as Warnick is now getting targeted next. I like that too. I mean, they identified already who the biggest criminal is on the side of the red team, and they instantly come in trying to take Mirrodin down. But Budget Gimli is able to escape and was able to retreat here. So he's still fine, and his trait is kicking in too and keeps him alive. Seems like Zagara is now up against Ophia up at the top. Coffin Girl starting to slap that around a little bit. And gets assistance for Mirrodin, and he misses the zoning Stormbolt. Zagara, still dead though, gets slapped by Ophia. Easy slaps right there. And that's first blood. Nice, good job by Team Akumi. So, the early lead. It's maybe exaggerating things a little bit, but hey, they are ahead in experience. Don't hate me. And down at the bottom of the map, Varian is still riding around on his golden cock. Yeah, seems to be enjoying himself here. And finally getting ready for some taunts, I suppose. Level 4 is kicking in a moment. Rumor has it that Varian is spending a lot of time in front of a mirror, just practicing insults. Your mama is so fat. Garrosh can't even throw her. Stuff like that, you know, just like the classics. Going for the classics, essentially. And, yeah. I mean, the man has to have a good repertoire, right? He's been taunting people with his level 4 talent for years now. And if he doesn't know all the Yo Mama jokes, then I don't know who does. Because he needs to get people really riled up if he can ensure that they're just going for him mindlessly and give others an opportunity to attack and kill. Yeah, another quick Stormbolt connect. Okay. And still that lead in experience for the red team. Easy seed, by the way. Not even contested. No problem on this one. Seed has been given up. They don't care about it. Taunt is in. We got the Envenomed Spines in. Ruby as well. And then over here, we got Volsa and Agumi and Itrax going for the next cap. It's a very tame early game. Nothing insane happening. Honestly, I've been thinking the other day also about, we talked a little bit about skins and new heroes and stuff that we could get into the game, right? And one of my favorite skins for Leoric is of course still the baseball skin, where he knocks it out of the park, you know, he just announces the home run and then goes for it. But when we're talking about new characters in the game, I think some kind of like NFL quarterback character would be pretty epic, right? Like, get for example some Diablo version with an NFL background behind you, just full American football. You have a talent called quarterback. Maybe you're old, where you just absolutely lace it across the field, and you're hitting a football straight into the face of the opponent's character. That applies a stun. It's basically a rage judgment or something of the sorts. I could totally see that. Then you have a bit of a bull charge where you're just like going to rush onto your character, trample over them, and stun them out too. I think there is a huge amount of potential there. I mean, honestly. Talents would write themselves too. I think we could make some really cool NFL American football character. I'm sure you guys have a couple of ideas as well. If not for talents and talent names, then at least for abilities or for ults. I mean, there's just too much potential there. It would have been amazing if we would have gotten something like that. Can be heroes themed a little bit, just so there's no problems with IPs or whatever. But yeah, I think there's a lot. Now Mirrodin, he's already going full Candy King on us, as I said before, but currently looking for some targets, and he's also playing Janitor, trying to take some of those creep tumors out. Ophia was trying to move in and got immediately taunted out, but it seems the fight is turning against them. Li Ming! And she's dead. Li Ming is gone, so that trap that they set there backfired quickly. It's a good start for Team Megumi. Lead in experience, double kill that they got, seed on each side now taken, and I guess the red team is most likely going to get this one as well, and therefore lead in seeds. The early level 10, I guess, not going to do too much for them. There's no objective that will spawn around that time frame, so they won't be able to use that. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they find a few other opportunities. Right now, but we still have. I mean, we're getting Battle Rage over here. The blue team has to somehow try and get into a decent spot for the next 3 fights, get themselves level 10, and yeah, take a hero down or two. For now, we have I mean, Poison Nova. Again, Uther holding back his ult, so we could get another Divine Storm situation. Oh, Varian, that was optimistic. Never fight against level 10, my friend, when you don't have it too. So, Varian is gonna get killed. He's not gonna survive this. Another Stormbolt from Mirrodin hits, and Varian gets murdered. I'm not 100% sure if he would have survived if he just left the camp right away when they invaded. But the second that he actually tried to take the camp first was pretty much the moment when he knew he would not make it. So, Varian is dead. And finally we have level 10 abilities on the side of Team Zagzi. And we indeed get Leap. So now more into Leap is an option. But while they are defending at the bottom of the map, it seems like we're gonna get Garden Terrors. Can they interrupt this? I don't think they can in time. Nope. Garden Terrors are taken. So a bit of a late rotation towards the objective. And that leads us now to a push that is going to hurt a little bit. That early game is dominant by Team Megumi. So far, the game is pretty much the reverse from what happened in the previous game. It's right now just Team Megumi that is absolutely running the show here. They're doing way better on this, and yeah, it's just working. It's working extremely well for them. And I'm a little bit impressed. Zagara is now down. Up at the top, Falstad, I mean, he nearly got destroyed. Made it, though. So, Falstad made it, and yeah, with that, they're going for that fort. The other forts have been so far defended quite nicely, but it's still a structural advantage by them taking all of the walls out and damaging the fort significantly. This one is now gone. Big ult from Deckard Cain. It might help him to escape here, but yeah, Varian doesn't make it. He gets killed again, so that's a little bit unlucky. Yeah, so all in all, tough times. Very, very tough times for them right now. And 5 kills to 0, 1.5 level lead, Zul pushing in the middle, and still no signs of life from Team Zagzi. Maybe they partied a little bit too hard after they won the first map, you know. A couple of like celebration shots, making the game easier. Oh, but Khaldor is Polish vodka. You gotta drink. It makes games more fun, more interesting. Don't know why the Polish guys are all of a sudden speaking with a Russian accent, but hey, it's the only one that I can halfway pull off, so well, that's it. But yeah, with level 13 on the board and the fort in the middle now also destroyed, suffice it to say that Team Zagzi is facing a couple of problems here. They are definitely struggling. Now, this is by far, like by any means, this is the end of the game. There's one seed still in the hands of the blue team. They can bring it back, but it's going to be an uphill battle for sure from here on out. So we'll see how far they can go with this. They need some team fight victories. I mean, that one is definitely clear. And they haven't gotten any of that just yet, but who knows. With a good Maw in a team fight, a Leap as a follow-up, and then Li Ming just getting a couple of resets, you can turn a fight quickly, and that would help you to close the experience gap. It's a level and a half. So it's still bridgeable, but you need to win the fight, and you need to win it soon. Now, as is, with level 13 talents now available on both sides, can start to make a bit of a move here, I suppose, for the next seed if they wanted to. They go for the mercenary camp first, so getting the siege giants here, and then it's going to be party time with Warnick already sitting in the bush. I wonder if they actually sniffed that out. So far, nobody has checked this one. Alright, it's a party bush. Full, and yeah, Varian gets away. Stay a while and get wrecked. They're trying with the old man to come in again. The taunt is out. Divine Shield plus Gust used in order to save the target. So that's a lot of ults already down the drain. We still have more up and Avatar, but that is it. And they are going to let this one... Oh, no, they're not going to let this one slide. Merlin jumps in, wants the party. They're focusing on Varian. And Varian is gone. The more only on Uther. And I don't think there's going to be a follow-up here. Still not a single kill for Team Zagzi. Li Ming is low and gets slapped by Orphea. So that's another kill. All the forts are gone. The topside keep is soon going to be under attack thanks to the mercenary camp, the big minion wave there. They're going for Sonya and she is not going to escape either. Sonya is dead and it is just an absolute disaster here for Team Zagzi. It's wild. Honestly, Team Agumi is going through them like hot butter through cheese. And it's essentially just a repetition of what happened in the previous game. It's just a reversal of it. Which is wild when you think about it. I mean, they're literally just doing the same to them that was done to the other team on the last map. Not a single kill so far. And the keep is already taking damage at the bottom of the map. At the top, there's another seat now coming. Well, it's not coming up. The seat is still there. So they can pick this up too. There's a 2-level gap now between the two teams. And with level 16 talents available for Team Megumi, it makes it slowly and steadily nearly impossible for Team Zagzi to get a proper fight here. I mean, good luck trying to force anything here. So far, it's definitely not working. Unless they perform a bit of a miracle, this is going to be pretty much lights out. So, Sonya's dead again. They just can't get a kill. They cannot get a kill. Divine Shield is out. Zagara is dead too. It's a 5 versus 3. And now we're having Varian and Li Ming also destroyed. And yeah, it's just a disaster. Absolute disaster. Now Falstad flies in. The old man is trying to escape, but he's going to get killed too. Deckard Cain is gone, and it's just a farming simulator. They're playing Heroes of the Storm Whack-A-Mole. Whenever they see a blue team hero, they're just coming in, slapping them around. Big, big damage here for them, and just no opportunity to bring the game back on the side of Team Zagzi. So, we're going to game number 3. We're going to the 3rd map of the series here. Are we calling this too early? Apparently. The team comes back and they didn't fully commit on this yet. They still want the team fight. The defense is there. Leap! And, well, it's Varian that dies. For a second I was thinking maybe they can now get their first kill, but no, not happening. The red team is about to retreat though. Which is kind of interesting, honestly. I would have bet money that they are going to make a move right then and there. Zagara is defending the top lane now because, well, their second keep is also under pressure. This is where we had this all moving in. So, yeah, bit of a wild one. Defending there. There's obviously tons of camps now up on the map because, well, this is a perfect opportunity to finally get some action going. On this, we had the team fights previously, so nobody went for any of the mercenary camps. Instead, they can now try and get more map control through this. Also, the objective, claiming that second seed, helps them as well. Yeah, Muradin is sneaking now in from the bottom. But it's kind of a fun one. It's a pretty interesting one that we're getting here from the teams. So, yeah. Not too bad. I'm still a little bit curious on whether or not there's an opportunity for the blue team to come back. Because honestly, at heart, I'm still rooting. In this case, I guess it's the underdog. For the underdog, and think maybe, just maybe, they have some kind of opportunity how they can still turn this one around, and it would be kind of wild. You know, that comeback story where it's just like the 6.5 out of 10 moment where all of a sudden they're just digging down deep and they find an opportunity and then they just go full YOLO and are able to take the opponent out. It would be awesome if it actually happened, but I just don't see it. Because with 14 kills to 0, you pretty much know how all the teammates have been going so far. There's 3 levels behind. The opponent will wait until level 20. Can make a play for the seed. Maybe get a quick kill here too. The taunt. Try and get to that. It's just not working. Varian is dead again. If they get a kill against him somehow, then maybe, but obviously now it's a 4 versus 5. The blue team tried to set the trap up, but they're losing Zagara too. And now it is Deckard Kane that is eliminated. And that is just it. So, Team Agumi, they played it a little bit safer than I expected from them. And started to, like, drop back off the core. They didn't want to risk to be eliminated here. And, yeah, they're getting rewarded. It's another 5-man team wipe. As they're coming in, claiming victory, and are taking the W on our second map of the best of 3 series. So we're going the distance here in the winner bracket final. We're going to game number 3. Each team was the clear winner of one of the 2 maps, and now we're going to find out on the 3rd map who moves on to the grand final and who drops down into the losers bracket. GG. Coming up next, we have the 3rd map of the series. If you guys enjoy the content, also consider to head over to patreon.com/Khaldor, support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene alive there. It's the best way to support the channel. Huge shout out to everybody that is already a supporter. You guys are really helping to keep this alive, and you help us to host event after event for the game here. Especially after Blizzard abandoning this already 7 years ago. It's absolutely fantastic that we're still able to do this here. So big shout out to all of the supporters. And again, if you enjoy the coverage, if you would like to support us, head over there and check it out. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the next game. Final map. We're going the distance. It is game 3. And I would highly suspect that the ban pattern for Team Zagzi is going to be the same. They're going to ban Cho'Gall out too. Infernal Shrines is our final map. It's pretty much a vanilla map that we have currently in the game. And of course, it means that there's a lot more heroes now unavailable. 20 heroes have been played and cannot be played again. We have a lot of pre-bans, so this makes things already by default a bit more interesting. But how interesting? How crazy are we going to get on this? Right now we have Junkrat also banned out. And yeah, very, very curious how this one plays out. Because honestly, at this point, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I have no idea. Previously, we went into the game and it was just like, yeah, Team Zagzi, they won the group stage. They took first place. They are going for a great winner bracket run too. They dominated the first map against Team Agumi on Hanamura. And I was just looking at it and I was like, okay, these guys are the heavy favorite. Maybe the red team can somehow fight back a bit. But it wasn't even close. Game number 2 was a total blowout. So now you're going to game number 3. And it's just really a question of who can deal with the limited hero pool now the best. That's going to be the big question. Once that you're entering this phase of the tournament, you're that deep into a game, hero pools become a problem. And at least a question to be answered. So we get Mei and we get Alexstrasza. Oriel for the blue team. Now, Cho'Gall is already banned, or that would be a bit of a warning sign. But I'm also a bit intrigued what they're going to do with Alexstrasza. Are they going to attempt to add some globe heroes that can capitalize on it, or do they just go for a different build and don't even use Circle of Life? Kel'Thas, yeah, well, he would have been one of them. I think Nazeebo is also still up. Not necessarily someone that you see a whole lot on Infernal Shrines, but unless I'm completely mistaken, Nazeebo is still up for grabs here. So that is someone that could also be played. With... yeah, I don't really think we're going to get him here. But it's actually kind of interesting observation. I could have seen Nazeebo played on Garden of Terror, for example. Suljin gets banned. I'm curious though. I'm really curious what kind of damage dealers are being played by Team Agumi now. So, similar move now with Anubarak being banned out. When we're talking ban patterns that we've seen previously. And with a double pick for Team Agumi. Yeah, I want to see some damage. I want to see some spicy picks now. Come on, boys. And if it's not the damage dealers, then at least a spicy side laner. Where's my Gazlo? Where's my Murky? Get him. Cassia and Phoenix. Nah. That doesn't count. That is... No. That's a 1 on the spice palette. That's like too tame. Way too tame. Spicy starts when my head starts sweating. Anybody that has the same hairstyle that I do knows exactly what I'm talking about. Spicy starts when I need a towel. That's when spicy starts. That's how they should make the That's how they should make the spice like scales when we're talking about like an Indian restaurant or like any kind of like Asian restaurant or whatever. Is a paper napkin enough? Or do you need a towel? That's the degradations there. Tyrael and Lunara. Yeah, it's still like nothing too insane, honestly. I expected a little bit more craziness coming in. But Infernal Shrines, our final pick, we have Thrall, ladies and gentlemen. So, game number 3, it is the final map, the third map in the best of 3, Infernal Shrines. Who moves on to the grand final? Who drops into loser's bracket? We're gonna find out right now. The final map, we're going to the blue team with Harkness on Tyrael, Al Dante on Oriel, Akunis on Lunara, Whitey is playing Kel'Thas, and we got Zugzi, the captain himself, on ETC. Over on the right side, it is Agumi on Alexstrasza. We have Bibshik on Phoenix, Atrax on Thrall, Warnick with a heat transfer on level 1 is playing Mei, and Bolsa is playing Cassia. So, who is going to take the win? Who moves on to the grand final? Who drops into the lower bracket? I expected more crazy heroes. We haven't gotten them here. But, yeah, still a bit intrigued. On level 1, we get the Circle of Life. We don't have any Globe Talents here. Would have been a nice support for, I suppose, the blue team when you think about it. Because they have plenty of Globe Talents. They have, first of all, our boy Kel'Thas, and then on top of that, they also have Tyrael, so they could have used it for the two of them. Which wasn't really the case so far. But, yeah, at the same time, now that we have the rotation, a little bit of aggression coming in. Let's see what else we're getting. I mean, they are still trying to establish that top lane. Zugzi with ETC. He's gonna get stage dive very likely as his ult. I would be surprised to see Mosh. Usually when you go ETC as a side laner, you want to have stage dive, and then you are trying to just capitalize on the global presence. You are using it as basically budget Dehaka is the idea behind it. And that's exactly what I would expect from them here. But on top of all of that, we're now having also at the bottom of the map still Kel'Thas trying to get a couple of more globes. That's obviously for his shield. You want to complete that before you're hitting level 10 in an ideal world, and with heroic abilities the game becomes so much more dangerous within seconds. So if you're at least able to pick up the globes that you need in that situation, then you can survive through any kind of targeted aggression a bit easier. First objective, still going to take a bit of a while, but we are still getting the attacks against the camps here. And yeah, the blue team also quite cautious. I can totally understand that they are a bit slower now and not as aggressive as they have been in some of the previous games, because map number 2 was definitely a rude awakening for them. Let's just be honest here. We have Nature's Culling, and we're getting the repeated offense now. We are down at the bottom of the map. Also the camp that has been claimed the second before. Team Zaxi is sitting at the top with ETC. And Thrall is saying hello there real quickly. On top of that, we're getting Crystallized, and we get Target acquired. So, well, with that, we now have 2.5 minutes on the timer, which means that the Shrines are about to activate. They also try to get a kill here, but Phoenix is able to get out. It has to also half back now. But we're just seeing them go for the camp. So it's a very, very tame early game. A couple of small moves in an attempt to get a quick kill, which has not panned out for either one of the teams. First objective is coming up, and that's where we're going to see the first aggression here. Thrall has also gone into his Wolf on 4, so that means he's going to attempt to stack up a bit further. Hits the second one against ETC, as Alexstrasza is aiming for additional globes on the map so that she can help the team out with her level 1 quest completed. And she is at least sitting at 10, so it's not too bad. She's getting closer and closer to make exactly that work and help them to get some more stacks here. Attack coming in again, slowly starting to make a play for the Shrine minions, with 14 already in the hands of Team Agumi. We have Team Zugzi catching up quickly though and starting to take control. Thrall is sitting at the top, so does ETC, both of them slowly moving down to the bottom of the map. But it is dead even over here. Team Agumi and Team Zugzi, I mean, they are fighting for every single Shrine minion. And here comes the Dragon Queen. Transformation put in. Well done, and that should give them for now a lead on the fight, and they get the first kill too. They take down ETC. Well done by the red team. They want a little bit more, but fall back to take the objective, and it's a Mortar Punisher. So, well done. Mortar Punisher is taken, and now the big chance, the big opportunity to try and take down that wall, and maybe a bit more than that. Try and go for the fort itself. So the wall already destroyed, and yeah, they're gonna get damage in on this for sure. Not gonna take it out, but that's still solid. Level 7 on both sides. So we have Ancestral Wrath, for example, in. Thrall is sitting at 3 stacks. Try and get a few more. Is currently battling it out with the ETC in the middle again. Was able to connect another wolf, so sits at 4. Alexstrasza is also nearly done with her quest. She's currently at 13, so 2 more globes, and she's gonna start spawning them. 5 stacks for Atrax. Thrall is nearly there. This is really the moment where you want to make sure that you're not all of a sudden fat finger the wrong button, and then bam, that's it. You're being reset down to 0. So yeah, Atrax has to be careful. Alexstrasza, if they get the camp, she's going to get the final globe. It's a bit too far away, but Thrall completes this quest. Alexstrasza getting still attacked in the back, and she's not the only one. ETC is also still moving in on this, but Alexstrasza has been zoned out the entire time, and that means Thrall actually falls, and that's not the only hero that dies. We have Cassia going down, and Mei is barely escaping, so does Phoenix, but that was problematic, and still is for Mei, as it turns out. Trying to slide away, and, well, she is not gonna die. That fountain saved her. And, okay, fair enough, the ice block that she got back too. But it was close. Not only the damage over time, but then also the living bomb from Kalthas. All huge problems that she had to deal with here. Now, camps still taken one after another at the bottom of the map. It was actually well done from the blue team. I mean, they lost the initial hero and then the objective, but now they are the ones that are ahead in experience, so that's pretty respectable. If in a situation like this, you are able to, yeah, pull ahead, fantastic. Quest completed for Alexstrasza, so right now you can start creating some regeneration globes. That nobody can help them with stacking. But yeah, 18 for the Ardent Restoration on Tyrael, and 16 for Kalthas. That Phoenix, Judgment, as expected, stage dive. And I suppose we are... Thrall's Earthquake is something to mention. Yep. And he gets out. But boy, oh boy. That's a lot of resources that Team Zaxi threw at Thrall in an attempt to kill him. That not working out for them, that sucks. That actually sucks quite a bit. So yeah, that is more than a bit unlucky. Okay, so it also costs them a lot of infrastructure at the bottom of the map, since this fort is essentially now gone with the minion wave pushing in to take it out. That's the first structure of the game that falls. There's a nice back and forth here. There's a lot of back and forth action between the two teams, and I am definitely here for it. So, yeah, good stuff. Still a little bit curious on how this will play out in the later stage of the game. At least the next fight is also going to happen with heroic abilities, of course. So that's going to be an interesting part of all of this. In the middle of the map, there comes the next attack quickly. We have now Cassia all the way up at the top, but this should be one of the bigger shrine battles now. And a lot of it comes also down to the way that they're dealing with Judgment. I mean, Judgment plus follow-up could be a huge problem. You have the long-range engage, and then someone like Kalthas can move a bit closer to the target, get gravity lapse. You have ETC with the power slide. So you have quite a lot of really neat tools that you can use in a situation like this. Attack over here already coming in as ETC said hello with a stage dive. Dragon Queen has been spawned too. Blue team is heavily ahead on shrine minions, but is being pushed completely off the shrine itself. Team Megumi is taking control of the situation again, and is doing pretty okay here. So here comes Judgment. Where's the follow-up? We get very little, honestly. It's 23 to 21 points on the core right now. And the attacks, they keep coming quickly and they keep coming hard. big plays are being made currently from especially the blue team in an attempt to get the Punisher, but they might actually fall short. The explosion comes in. Tyrael, 36, they're so close, but they're going to lose Kael'thas too, aren't they? Kael'thas is dead. Here comes the play from the side, from Lunara. They get the Arcane Punisher, but they lost so many heroes in the process, and Lunara is also going to die. 3 heroes down, all eliminated in the pursuit of Punisher number 2. So they were able to grab at least that. They get the Punisher, but of course it came at a huge cost for them. And that kind of sucks. Because it costs you a lot of XP, which means that your opponent jumps ahead in talents. Quite naturally. So now we got level 13 talents. It gives us the Spirit Shield, for example. We got the Polar Vortex for Mei. Damage output 33,000 on Thrall. I mean, Thrall is easy top damage in the game now. Nobody else is even close. Closest is Kael'thas with 24,000. Yeah, Mei. Gravity Lapse hits her. Nice, the stage dive. That was a good one. The problem is that Auriel is already gone. And the Ice Wall caught Kael'thas. If they can somehow get a bit of CC in. Oh, but the turnaround! Nice ult from Alexstrasza. The team is still very low. Needs to be careful here. But they get the big heals from Agumi the entire time and are all still alive and kicking. Was a nice kill against Auriel though. And it looked for quite some time as if they could get another kill without any big problems. Now, that didn't quite work out the way that they were hoping for, but it was pretty close. If Kael'thas didn't turn this around with that Gravity Lapse and threaten the red team, they would have probably been able to do this very easily. So, right now, we have 5 kills against 2. And again, reminder, this is the final map in the series. So there's a lot on the line here, and with the 1 level lead and all the plays that we've seen from Team Agumi, I think it is fair to declare them the favorite, at least for now. They've been making some fantastic moves throughout this, and it's just a question of how well they're going to be able to carry this through the mid into the late game and get even more done here. So, yeah, right now, here comes the next kill. They just collapse onto the top and they are taking down ETC. So, ETC gone. Down at the bottom of the map. Still the next attack, well, the next mercenary camp taken out. As they're starting to add level 16 now, but the attack is focusing on the top lane. They're trying to take another fort out here, and, well, who's going to stop it? Tyrael? Yeah, I don't think so. Tyrael, if anything, needs to be careful that he isn't getting taken out. If Thrall would have collected some of the wolves, and well, he does now, but it might be a bit too late. Could have done even more. The flank in an attempt to defend, I don't see it doing too much either. That fort will fall. Judgment! And the ice block from Mei. But the earthquake! And they go for ETC again. Aegis, it's not going to be enough, I think. Yeah, ETC is in trouble. Moo! And he's dead. So that's beef on the barbecue later today. The situation just doesn't get any better for Team Zaxi. It's crazy. They dominated Hanamura. Dominated it. They didn't just win it. They absolutely crushed them. And now we have a Shrine, a Frozen Punisher active at the bottom of the map. And Team Agumi is just killing it. Absolutely killing it. I mean, it seems that they are absolutely untouchable right now. Maybe with level 16 talents, the blue team can take a fight and bring this back a bit. But it is gonna be tough. Because this is has been looking clean the entire time from the perspective of the red team. Now, we get with 16 also the Reservoir of Hope. We have Imposing Presence in for ETC. Even Talents means that they can at least try and take some of the fights. But the camp is about to be claimed too, so that's all. I have no idea what ETC is doing here. What the hell? Gets hit. Tyrael is already dead. ETC Ice Walled, and he doesn't have any cooldown available. That should be a kill. Boy, he gets out somehow. I don't even understand how that just happened. But yeah, he's able to get away. But they are not defending. The problem is they're not even baiting off the wall because of that, which means that the wall is essentially already destroyed by the time that the rotation has happened. Nobody procs the jump. Just not happening right now. Mad value from the Punisher. This is going to be the standard, by the way, in the new patch that is currently on the test server. Just saying. And as I said before, if you haven't checked that out, just go back a little bit on my YouTube channel for the patch notes, and you're going to see the info right there. But this is the keep at the bottom of the map taken down. So 8 kills to 2. Well, they come in with the next attack here. Trying to get a few more kills. They know that they won't be able to end the game, or that's at least unlikely. Aegis gets used. There's the salvo. And yeah, Atrax is on the run. They're all just moving back out. They're realizing that they would be risking too much trying to go for the core here. Just playing this a little bit safe for later is definitely the right move. They have so many camps that they can take to occupy Team Zagzi more, to get more experience, slowly pull ahead here, and then make one play after another, but things are just looking so well for them. It's their game to lose. Clearly. 52,000 for Thrall. Not top damage in the game anymore, though. Kel'Thas has taken over in that position. And yeah, Lunara is honestly also on pretty high damage numbers here. Blue team still looking for opportunities, as they should. Now that it's 16 versus 16 talents, they really need to try and make a few plays here. That's the best shot that they have. That being said, we are on level 19 and a bit for Team Megumi. So if they are now bridging to 20, that should guarantee them the next objective, because not only will they run a level advantage, a talent advantage, and also an advantage with the top side fountain still being in play. They will also then start to use that for the top keep and try and take that out too. Guess who's dying next? I'm actually surprised he doesn't stage dive. Okay, there we go. And he makes it. For a second, I was thinking, does he actually have enough hit points? Is there damage over time that could kill him? So he stage dives to the top. They get a fort. That was actually a smart move. I think the ult from Cassia could have interrupted that, though. Yeah, I think if they were willing to sacrifice that, they could have interrupted it and gotten a kill. But here's level 20. So Earthen Shields alone as an upgrade for Thrall is already massive. I mean, that is an absolutely massive tool that they have in their arsenal. And that's obviously not all. Then you got the Ritual of Life. We have Shatter, Unconquered Spirit. So many powerful tools now for Team Megumi on level 20. And the only question that really remains is, what exactly are they going to do with this? What's their play here? Like, what is the move? What are they now going to try and pull off with that? A little bit of action already happening throughout the middle. So starting to make some plays here. Yep. The Shrine is active. So I guess they're, at the end of the day, just settling for the objective and try and make their move with that. Which isn't really that horrible. I was thinking maybe try and take some walls out at those keeps. But the timing lines up more or less nicely. So they go towards the top and try and take this here. And for the blue team, they're just going for structures. Which isn't really that horrible. I mean, you're already looking at the map and you realize that you can't go for the objective fight anyways because you don't have level 20. So you might as well just go and take some of the structures out. Take the fort in the middle. Try and take the fort at the bottom of the map. It's obviously clear how this is now going to probably play out. The red team is going to try and end the game. They want the fort first, but they will try and go for the core if they see an opportunity. But from the perspective of the blue team, if they are somehow able to defend, then they have now still taken out 2 forts. So that's a halfway decent trade. It could be way worse. So that's not too horrible. They find themselves in a fairly decent spot once that the defense is over, and that's always assuming that they are able to defend, but I mean that's an assumption that you just have to make. You also have to think about, okay, what happens after we defend? What's happening to us after we are able to pull that off? But right now, they still have to start the defense first. If they lose the keep, then they're going to be down to 1 single keep. That in and of itself is already a disaster, but of course the red team is hoping to go for the core and move on to the grand final. 61,000 damage for Kel'Thas, easy keep, and now the Punisher on his way towards the middle. Ah, Valkyrie. Valkyrie missing. They're trying to go for the core here, which forces the reaction. Yeah, Punisher's now moving in too. And the shield is gonna fall quickly. ETC with a big stage dive. And Tyrael dies. Tyrael is gone. The shield on the core is falling. Tyrael went on 20 into Angel of Justice. Lunara is done. So is Oriel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Team Megumi turns it around. Wins 2 in a row and moves on to the grand final as Team Zaxi gets dropped into the losers bracket. Nicely done, GG, well played, and congrats to the red team.